So what if they was having a dream? I mean bad ones. I mean positively screaming Meemies. The worst of the worst. What would you do?
Don't worry, you're not haunted. Yet.
This podcast contains all the spoilers. You've been warned.
These witches curse. If you don't like cursing, then you're in for some toil and trouble. If you don't mind cursing, then let the cauldron bubble, baby.
Shh. Screaming Meemies is starting now.
Hey, haunted humans, it's Kayla.
And Aubrey.
We have a really fun episode for you this time. It's called
Companion.
One of my favorite things about going into this movie was going into it not knowing anything about it, because it definitely took us for a wild ride. And it made for a great rewatch as well. So this movie is definitely rewatchable. I would add that for sure.
Stay tuned at the end of the episode for a special treat. Okay. You ready?
Yeah. Like the poem said by the lady in red, you hear the last few words of your life. Just don't mind my brain. It shouldn't be nonstop gaga.
Oh, that's so good, though.
Abracadabra, abracadabra.
That was so funny that we saw the girl listening to the album the same time we were listening to it in the car.
That is going to live rent-free in my head forever.
Right? That was just like...
Perfect moment.
So wonderful.
Shout out to this stranger.
Yeah.
who
Strange
is
girl.
Also listening to Gaga.
The random girl with the brown hair and the braces.
Companion opens with a woman in a 60s-style haircut and dress, grocery shopping, with her inner monologue talking about some deep, dark shit. About how nothing has meaning and we're all just getting by. Until a magical meet-cute happens, where a guy picks up an orange on his way to no doubt deliver a solid pickup line to this woman, when he's derailed by the entire bay of oranges tumbling to the ground. They both start giggling, and he introduces himself as Josh, played by Jack Quaid. She introduces herself as Iris, played by Sophie Thatcher. Her inner monologue says that she's only found meaning twice in her life. The first time was when she met Josh, and the second was the day that she killed him. Aubrey gushes over her love of Sophie Thatcher.
Did you pull an orange from the top and somehow they all tumbled?
I think so.
How the fuck did that happen?
I was not expecting that voice to come out of that girl.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the reason I really wanted to watch this is because that girl, specifically, her name is Sophie Thatcher. I love her. She's from Yellow Jackets. I love that show. She was really good in The Boogeyman as well. And yeah, her voice is amazing. But the thing with Yellow Jackets is that she plays the younger version of Juliette Lewis. Do you know who Juliette Lewis is?
Yes.
Okay. And she has like a very raspy smoker's voice. Mm-hmm. And she fucking nails it. It is like so on point.
Oh, wow.
It's so cool. Like, so that's when I first was like, oh, I'm going to pay attention to this girl.
Yeah.
Because that's not exactly an easy voice to imitate. And she was incredible. So I looked her up, because I was looking up the other guy. And then I thought, okay, well, I'll look her up. You will never guess what her middle name is.
It's Kayla?
No.
Oh, I was like, what?
It's Bathsheba.
But what?
Yeah.
Her middle name is Bathsheba?
Yeah. Bathsheba.
Holy shit.
I know. I was like, that's fucking fabulous.
I want to know how many people out there nowadays have Bathsheba as a name.
Right?
That's fascinating.
Isn't that great?
I want to know more about that.
I know. And then I also looked up the other guy whose name is Jack Quaid. And
Dennis Quaid.
He's Dennis Quaid's son. Yeah. Which, I knew that. I was like, he's got to be a Quaid. He looks more of a Dennis Quaid than a Randy Quaid.
Mm.
I was like, eh. But I had no idea that Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan were married at some point.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how he came about.
Huh.
Yeah, I know that guy from The Boys, which I don't know if you...
Oh, I haven't watched it.
Yeah, don't. It's not for you.
I know it's not for me.
It is definitely the most violent show on TV, like I had to stop. I had to stop watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a scene I will not describe.
So, sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah. Curious listeners may respond on Instagram and ask what scene it was, and I'll let you know. But I will not verbalize it. Thank you very much. So yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. We have a Conjuring tie-in and a Substance tie-in to this.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Murder board! Murder board!
We should start a murder board that like connects all of the things that we watch.
That's a great idea.
So far, everything connects to each other in one way or another.
Josh says, Iris, wake up. And we are brought into a new scene. Iris and Josh in their self-driving car. Iris notices there's no map on the GPS and asks Josh where they're going. They pull up to a very well-to-do cabin in the woods, surrounded by stunning forest. But the car is self-driving off-road without a GPS? Press F to doubt. Okay. Also, I know nothing about this movie. I've been trying to keep myself in the dark purposely.
Oh, great. Companion. I also know nothing.
Great.
Iris thanks Josh's car for a safe arrival. Iris glares at Josh, and he reluctantly also thanks the car. I say thank you to my electronics as well.
I should do that more often.
You don't want to be on the wrong side of history.
Right. I just get worked up into such a tizzy when it doesn't listen to me. I don't think to say thank you afterwards because I'm so mad that it didn't hear me.
Well, see, here's the thing. If you say please, it listens more often. It, like, does the thing you asked.
I'll try that.
Try it out. I'm making that up.
It's worth a shot. Iris carries the baggage while Josh contemplates the meaning of the words rustic little cabin in the woods as they approach a multi-million-dollar modernist mansion in the woods. Iris hangs back looking nervous. Josh says, "What's wrong? You know you can't lie to me." Iris explains that she knows she's going to screw up meeting his friends. Josh tries to reassure her. Iris says she knows that Kat already hates her. As the ever-supportive boyfriend, Josh says, "Well, sure, Kat hates everyone." He calls her Beep Boop and tells her to smile and act happy.
Okay, wait, so they've been planning this trip for months, and she's just
nervous.
told him that she's, like, anxious about this?
They're meeting friends. She hasn't met their friends, I think. Beep Boop. Beep Boop is a weird nickname.
Kat, played by Megan Surrey, answers the door and warmly greets Josh with a hug and a playful banter. Awkward silence takes over when Josh points with his eyes to indicate that Kat should greet Iris. Kat rolls her eyes and welcomes Iris in the driest, bitchiest way possible.
Wow, she's gorgeous.
I've seen her in something, but I don't know what.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
So good. So nice. So nice. Iris, Kat, and Josh walk into the kitchen and greet the rest of the party. We're introduced to Patrick, played by Lucas Gage, who's cooking, Eli, played by Harvey Guillen, who's drinking, and Sergey, played by Rupert Friend, who's ominously hovering on the staircase above. Eli welcomes Iris as a friend, giving her a hug. Sergey greets Josh with a hug and clearly checks out Iris. Hey, it's that guy from Smile 2.
Wow, literally all the connections.
Oh my god, it's Guillermo. I love Harvey Guillen. I'm drunk. Great. What the fuck?
Who's this guy? He's like 10 years older than the rest of them.
Oligarch enters the room.
Iris and Josh compliment Sergey on his beautiful house, and Sergey says he paid for the privacy. There's no one around for 17 miles.
Well, that guy's icky.
I meant 20 years older than them. Jeez.
Mm-hmm. Iris goes upstairs to unpack their room, and we spot a thumb drive in their luggage. Iris takes a shower and gets out with a full face of makeup. Using positive affirmations, Iris tries to encourage herself in the mirror to just smile.
What's that? Mysterious thing in the suitcase.
Looks like a little metal piece, maybe a USB.
You said metal piece, and my mind went to something totally totally different.
Oh.
They getting stony later? Doing some gardening?
Maybe. How's all of her makeup still on?
Well, and her hair is still, like, dripping wet.
Right?
I don't think no way she's not got a towel and toweled off that. She's just, like, standing in a robe, letting it drip. We start chatting about Lucas Gage's other works as his character starts telling us how he and Eli met at a Halloween party. Patrick was dressed as Dracula, and Eli was dressed as a dinosaur. Patrick stepped on Eli's tail and says he was looking at the most beautiful man he had ever seen in his life. Josh ribs him, saying, "Oh, so did you meet this beautiful man after meeting Eli?" Using a fork, Eli then catapults a meatball at Josh. That guy plays the Cat King in Ghost Boy Detectives.
Oh, yeah?
And
that's funny.
He's got, like, some weird, like, sexual energy.
Told you, he's a fuckboy in every movie.
Yeah. Oh, he's, like, major fuckboy in that show.
Yeah. I took baseball. Iris asks Patrick how he knew that Eli was the one. Patrick said it was love at first sight, and chuckles, saying, "I know that sounds dumb." Iris says, "That doesn't sound dumb," and then describes how empty she felt before meeting Josh, like a piece of you is broken and suddenly it's fixed. And then she says she would do anything for that person, making eye contact with Josh. Everyone around the table appeasingly agrees, while we notice that Josh didn't reciprocate that love.
Patrick asks Sergei what he does. Sergei basically says his work is dirty as he menacingly opens a wine bottle with an automatic corkscrew. Iris and Kat are talking about Sergei. Kat says he's got everything you could want in a man: money, intelligence, a beautiful wife. Iris is surprised that Kat isn't in love with Sergei. Kat then describes that she's more like an accessory at his every beck and call, less like a person. She does whatever Sergei wants, whenever he wants it. In the middle of Kat's complaints, she says, "But look who I'm talking to." You can see her insecurity all over her face, and it's, like, painful. The other girl is very aware of it, and definitely pushing into the uncomfortable feeling she's having.
Right. Woof. That was rude. Iris asks if Kat likes her. Kat says it's not that. It's that Iris makes Kat feel replaceable. Iris reassures Kat of her admirable qualities and that she's irreplaceable. Iris wishes she could be more fearless like Kat instead of always feeling like something's holding her back. The scene changes as Eli pops on a vinyl record called The Book of Love and beckons everyone to dance.
The Book of Love disc.
Wow.
Let's play these tracks. Dance party.
I like her cute little dress.
Iris catches Josh talking to Kat while dancing and pulls him away to dance with her. Cut to the quickest O-face for Josh while Iris lays there looking unimpressed. He finishes, turns off the light, and goes to bed without even talking to her. Iris says she's sorry for being mopey and that she just wants to make him happy. Josh tells Iris to go to sleep. I have a feeling that Sergei is going to start slipping people ecstasy.
Yeah. I was feeling a little bit more GHB, but yeah. This song is like all doorbells and it's kind of triggering me. Like, I'm not even a dog. And I'm just like, I'm like,
Oh, God.
Jesus. I could have lived without that.
Yeah, me too. I think she could have as well, it looks like.
Yeah, wow.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, wow.
I can't wait for her to kill him.
Right? I know, right? I'm already like, this guy is definitely a see you next Tuesday. The next morning, Josh is getting ready. Iris says it's a beautiful day, and Josh asks her, "What's the weather?" She responds with a quippy and precise account of the weather, and asks him if he is almost ready to go down to the lake. Josh tells Iris that he's pretty hungover and needs more time. Iris asks Josh if he had fun last night. She offers to stay behind and put him to bed, wink wink. He encourages her to go to the lake without him. Did you have fun?
Like,
Jesus.
yeah, come on, guy.
Ugh. Call and response is not hard.
Iris leaves, and Josh pulls out the weird little thumb drive from the luggage.
He seems suspicious. Also, he doesn't seem hungover. Okay, it is weird little USB. Iris makes it to the lake and starts to disrobe when she finds a knife in her pocket. Her confusion is interrupted by Sergei greeting her in Russian. She responds in kind and he compliments her on her Russian, not being bad, but also not being good. Sergei offers her a drink, and she says she's going to return to Josh. Sergei encourages her to stay as his guest, and she begrudgingly agrees. Those pretty little pants.
You like my little top with my little pants? This lake is shaped like a ball sack.
Scroats malotes.
Okay.
All right.
I hope she's sunscreened up, because she is like burn under a lamp kind of pale.
Yeah, she's pretty porcelain.
Also, everybody wears sunscreen because skin cancer. But
Speaking of ball sacks, I thought he was going to flash us for sure. For sure.
I thought you were just mentioning that he's a ball sack.
No. He looked like he was about to basic instinct us.
To love. Pura vida. Sergei breaks out the sunscreen and asks Iris to do his back. He tenderly grabs her hand and says the most disgusting thing. He says that it's okay that Kat gave him permission. This is what you do. This is what you're for. Iris asks him to please stop as he starts kissing her neck and holding her against him.
But is it what you want to do?
Gross. Sunscreen. Yeah, don't make this take longer than it has to. Like, just get it on there and check it. Like, what are you doing? Ew.
Gross. What is she, like a fucking sex bot or something? What is this? Iris comes back to the living room where everyone else is hanging out, her face covered in blood. Iris apologizes and says she was just defending herself, that Sergei was forcing himself upon her. Flashback to that scene, and we see Iris pleading with Sergei to stop, until she grabs a vodka bottle and cracks him over the head with it. He falls to the ground, his head hits a stone. She goes to check on him and he violently lunges at her, taking her down. He pins her to the ground in a chokehold and describes to Josh that she couldn't let Sergei kill her because that would take her away from Josh. So then, she pulled out the pocket knife and stabbed him in the jugular. Josh yells, "Iris, go to sleep!" Her face goes flat and her eyes roll back, except it's more like a white lens covering up her iris.
Yeah, did she fuck him up? Yeah. Nice.
Bonk dead.
Then I fucking gutted him like a fish because he was trying to have his way with me. Oh,
She
what the fuck?
Is a sex bot. Holy shit.
Oh, wow. Okay. What? Hold on, we have to pause.
Okay.
Because I have to say things and I'm not going to talk over it.
Yeah.
Okay, one, I know we already mentioned, but I did not know what to expect coming into this movie at all. I was not picking up on the fact that she was not a real human being. It did seem like she was, like, a little shy and, like, anxious and desperate. I didn't realize she was going to be a robot. I'm glad she murder fucked that guy.
Yeah, right. Fuck that guy.
That's all I have to say about that.
Dead men don't rape! That's what I have to say about that.
That's true.
Have you heard that song?
Mm-mm.
It's a great song. I had my suspicions because not only is she, like, specifically, like, 1960s garb, which is unusual.
Right.
But then
I did think that was unusual, but
Sergei said, "You are such a beautiful creation."
it's what
And
you're for. Yeah,
I thought that was weird.
I thought he was just being gross, but
And then the girl was like, "Who am I talking to?" Like, she's describing that she basically is Sergei's sex slave. And then she's like, "Why am I complaining to you?" Like, she said that.
Yeah.
And it was like, rude, but Then she responded with, like, I'm just not built that way. And I was like, oh, okay. And then every conversation she has with him is like, I want to make sure you're happy. I want to make sure you're happy. I want to make sure you're happy.
Yeah.
So once that was getting, I was like, I feel like that's where this is going.
Yeah, and he's definitely, like, not giving her any sort of emotion.
Right.
Like, after the sex thing, he's just like, go to sleep.
Yeah.
That was so cold and dismissive. Well, I guess the name of the movie makes more sense now.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that whole, like, meet cute was completely
Arranged.
programmed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At this point, I think all of them could die except for Harvey Guillen and the fuckboy. They've been nice to her. Everyone else has been a total bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Next, we see Iris idling with her blank eyes staring off into space. Patrick ties her to a chair as Josh supervises. Eli reports to Josh that Kat is passed out by Xanax. Josh says they should call the cops and tell them everything. Eli asks what will happen to Iris. Josh says, obviously I'll need to, you know. Eli says, I don't understand how this could have happened. Don't they have safeguards for this? Josh says, I have no idea. A glitch, maybe? Eli says he's going to call the cops, and Josh says he's going to shut her down, but asks Eli for some privacy to say goodbye. We compliment Iris on looking like a badass butcher Barbie.
She looks so awesome. Josh pulls up a chair to face Iris and tells her to wake up. Iris resumes her panicked, frantic state from earlier. She asks why she's tied up. Josh says they had no choice. She murdered Sergei. She reiterates that it was self-defense, and Josh says, I believe you. You couldn't lie to me even if you wanted to. Iris says, what? Josh explains to Iris that it's part of her programming and rips off the Band-Aid, telling her she's a robot. You're a companion robot, he tells her. He tells her she is so much more than a fuckbot. She's an emotional support robot. Great, she doesn't even know. Could be less of a dick about this.
I mean, think about the kind of guy, though, that not only has this companion robot,
Right.
but also is bringing the companion robot to a friend's weekend.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a specific kind of person right there.
Trying to convince her, he asks her what the weather is. She responds immediately and precisely. He then takes out his phone and changes the language she speaks while she's talking. Then she asks about her memories and her past life. He explains that he chose her background and how they met.
I don't imagine he has great social skills, but he's basically just like negging her right now, you know? Like telling her how this all worked out. It's like, this is unnecessarily cruel. Josh asks if Iris really wants to know how they first met.
Flashback.
Josh accepts the home delivery of Empathix Robotics as a small team of men roll in a coffin and a wheeled wardrobe into his apartment. One of the men goes over the instructions, explaining how to connect her to your phone and establish a love link with Iris. The whole experience is customizable. Her voice, eye color, or intelligence. The salesman also mentions a factory reset button behind her right ear. She can't hurt anyone, human, animal, or robot. While trimming his toenails, Iris, in her idle state, tells Josh to establish a love link by placing his face in front of hers and saying his name. Iris experiences her meet cute, then wakes up actually to meet Josh. He immediately takes her to the bed and sets the tone for her disappointing sex life. I wonder on the spectrum of Lars and the Real Girl to, Ex Machina, where this is gonna land. Her with her eyes rolled back is haunting.
Yeah.
Didn't even bother to clean up. Cool. That's freaky. Wow.
Back in the bloody present, Iris says she feels things like pain. Josh says that's just programming. Your whole life is just an imitation of a life. Also,
Fuck
you're not
you.
changing her programming.
Fuck you. Yeah. You like I said, I know this must be a lot to process, and then smirked at himself because he thought he made a joke. Through tears, Iris says, I'm not real, but I'm yours. We can get through this. I can make you happy, Josh. Kat bursts in accusatory, asking Josh why he hasn't shut her down yet. Iris starts panicking. Shut me down? What does that mean? Iris spots the knife on the floor. Josh walks off with Kat and says, "You can't tell a robot you're gonna shut it down. That's not cool. At all." Josh explains he didn't shut down Iris yet because he wanted to say goodbye and thought they owed her an explanation for everything she's done for us. Kat cuttingly says, "It's like saying goodbye to the sock you just jerked off in." Josh says she's more than that. Josh reassures Kat that the hard part is over. All that's left is to call the cops and celebrate the plan coming together. Josh hugs Kat and she seems aloof. Josh asks Kat what's up and she says, "It was a Xanax."
Like anything that you've done so far is cool at all.
Right. Done for us?
Yeah, I wondered if maybe they're like an item. Wait, so did they plan on her killing him?
I guess so.
Josh walks back into the living room to find Iris lying on the floor, attached to the chair. He says, "Sorry, Beep Boop," as she cuts herself free and punches him in the throat. She gives emergency aid instructions to Kat and tells her to take Josh to the hospital. She runs away past Patrick and Eli. Patrick tries to alert Eli, but Eli shushes him as he's on the phone with the police. Patrick looks visibly uncomfortable, but complies.
Beep Boop is such a diabolical nickname. Oh, yeah, straight to the throat punch.
Shh, baby, I'm on the phone.
Josh, Eli, and Kat are sitting outside chatting about the plan. Josh explains to Eli that he messed with Iris's programming to bump up her aggression and self-defense, as well as giving her the ability to inflict harm. He explains they must find Iris before the cops or the empathics robotics people find her, so he can factory reset her. Eli asks why they would want to kill Sergey. Josh says that he was into drugs and human trafficking. Kat pours salt in the wound, saying he was also a terrible boyfriend. Kat shows Eli and Josh the safe behind a giant oil portrait of Sergey himself. And you don't think that the cops were gonna find a safe when they came to investigate the murder?
Kat says there's $12 million in the safe. Kat opens it using Stalin's birthday. Eli asks why he and Patrick were invited, and Josh explains that they were invited to corroborate the story. Josh says that they can split the money 3 ways, and then Eli says, "No, 4 ways. There's 4 of us." Josh says he can't be serious. Patrick doesn't count. Eli turns to Patrick and says, "Patrick, go to sleep," as his eyes roll back. Oh, is Patrick also a sex bot?
Holy shit.
Wow.
Eli yells at Josh, accusing him of trying to sabotage his relationship with Patrick. Eli demands that Patrick gets a slice of the pie, and Josh says that Eli is lucky to even get a cut because he didn't contribute to the plan. Eli asks what Josh contributed. Didn't Iris do everything? Josh explains how he practiced his sleight of hand work to slip the knife in her pocket. Eli makes fun of him for that. Kat interjects and says they're offering him $4 million to help them catch a little robot girl in the woods. That's got murder on the mind.
One little murder sex bot.
Mm-hmm.
Flashing between Iris running through the woods and the conversation in front of the safe, Eli calls dibs on the gun and agrees. Josh says the gun isn't necessary. He just needs to get close enough to her to put her to sleep, grab his phone, and wipe the mods from her code. Eli asks, "She has your phone? Does she know your passcode?" Oh shit dawns on Josh's face as he says, "She knows everything about me." Eli grabs the gun and wakes up Patrick, saying they're going robot hunting.
This poor guy. Well, at least Harvey Guillen's character actually treats his bot like a person.
Yeah.
I thought that was a totally normal relationship. I didn't see any red flags there. They seemed really in love.
No, but I did start to realize, like, as the 4 of them were there and he was talking about the 3-way cut, like, I kind of noticed right away because I was just like, oh, yeah, his whole thing is that he's so in love with his partner, right? I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Iris pulls up a rock in the forest, unlocks Josh's phone, and starts fiddling with her customization settings. She has a little fun altering her voice and eyes until she increases her intelligence from 40% to 100%. She opens her eyes to a brand new existence. A whole new And just like that, she's a radical feminist.
Josh and the Doof Squad are arguing in the woods about splitting up to find Iris. Josh suggests going with Kat, and Eli and Patrick split off. Eli pauses, then accuses them of sleeping together. Josh denies it, and Kat says, gross, to which Josh responds, gross?
Iris is making a plan of action with her extra 60% intelligence to get back home. She thinks through walking home in the woods, but decides that it would take days to get to the apartment, and Josh would greet her with a welcome home beep boop and an execution. She pulls out the phone and realizes that it not only controls her, but also the car. She starts her journey through the woods towards the car, hears Patrick and Eli approaching, and ducks behind a tree trunk. A twig snaps and Eli says, "You hear that?" Patrick says, "What?" "It's the sound of me realizing how fucking stupid this is." Eli explains to Patrick that friends include friends in their plans. Like, he would tell them from the beginning that he altered Patrick's code, and he tries to save it by saying, "That is, if you were a robot." Patrick looks knowingly somber as he says, "Sure."
Eli abandons the plan and tells Patrick they should go back to the cabin, have a quick boink, and then Patrick can make him an omelet. Patrick says, "You never do that to me, right? You never alter my programming?" Eli says, "What?" Patrick explains that he's pieced it together over the years. Eli is confused because Patrick can't lie and asks how he could tell the story of how they met. Patrick says it was real to him, no lie. We flashback to the Halloween party Patrick told us about earlier, with Patrick looking like a super cute Dracula and Eli looking a little disheveled in his T-Rex costume. Our favorite short kings do a cute little choreographed dance together, and they are snapped back to the present.
Well, this is a much cuter meet cute.
Yes. What's crazy is this guy, he's super short. And this guy is even shorter.
Yeah, Harvey Gann is pretty short, yeah. Eli tells Patrick that he wouldn't treat him like Josh treats Iris, because Eli loves Patrick. Eli asks Patrick if he can feel Eli's love. Patrick says yes. And Eli asks, what does it feel like? Patrick describes it as, it feels like pain. Like the inside of my body is on fire, and it's angry and violent and bright. He gives Eli a very tender kiss, and they passionately proclaim their love for each other. Harvey's not disturbed by that description at all.
I'm in love with a robot dad.
Yeah, right.
They're rudely interrupted by Josh's phone buzzing in Iris's pocket. She panics to silence it, but the jig is up. Eli pulls out the pistol, cocks it, and calls Iris. Iris takes off, and Eli fires a shot in her direction, and he painfully finds out how deafeningly loud guns are. Patrick takes off, keeping pace with Iris like the Terminator, and then Eli tackles her down a hill.
Serpentine, Babu! Serpentine! Oh, man. At least she's not covered in blood anymore. Now it's mud. In a tense moment, Iris and Eli see the gun. Eli says it isn't personal. Iris lunges for it and shoots Eli. Patrick sees what Iris has done. Iris apologizes to Patrick and takes off before Josh can fire off a "Go to sleep, Iris!" She takes off towards the cabin, sprints to the car, and gets in just as Josh gets his hand caught in the door. Josh screams, "Ow! Iris, open the door!" She commands the car to drive, but it doesn't respect her authority. Voice not recognized. Josh softens, trying to encourage Iris to give up. She has a brainwave and starts altering her voice deeper to emulate Josh's. She finally jailbreaks it, sounds exactly like Josh, and commands the car to drive. It pancakes Josh's foot backing out of the driveway as he hobbles after her. Are you gonna lock the car? Sucks to suck.
Owned.
That was awesome.
That was pretty great. Josh runs back inside the house and finds Sergei's phone, tries to unlock it. He realizes he needs to find out Stalin's birthday for the passcode, as that was the code to the safe. He finds a biography on Stalin. For anyone who's curious, it's December 18th, 1878.
Iris feels like she's home free until the car gives an error message saying that the owner has reported the car stolen, and it pulls over. Josh must have guessed the passcode because he calls Beep Boop. He apologizes for scaring her, tells her that they could go back to the way things were before. He tells her they can blame it all on Patrick. Josh proclaims his love for her and asks if she still loves him. She says she does, but they can't really come back from him programming her to kill a guy, and breaks up with him. Josh is shook. I mean, there's still no way he's gonna catch her. Oh, unless it locks her in.
Yeah, it's locked her in. You're such a shitty human being that even your robot companion is breaking up with you.
Congrats.
Eat that, motherfucker.
Did you see how much of a sociopath he was for that, though?
Yeah.
Like, he sounded on the phone like he was emoting.
Yeah.
But when it panned around, you saw his face was just a flat affect.
Yeah. Just deadpan.
Yeah. That was... Who's the robot? Like, what the fuck?
Right. I wonder if that is kind of the underlying theme. Like, who is the robot?
Right.
You know, who's the robot, really?
And also, that scene was obviously, like, reminiscent of domestic violence relationships.
Oh, yeah. It was a very narcissistic relationship. Josh limps back into the woods and finds Patrick in a catatonic state holding Eli's dead body. Kat, sitting nearby, asks what Josh is doing. Josh pulls out Eli's phone, unlocks it with Eli's face, tells Patrick to find Iris, put her to sleep, use his phone, and bring her back to him. On Eli's phone, he maxes out Patrick's aggression level. Patrick is unresponsive to Josh's demands, and Josh pushes the reset button behind his ear. Patrick robotically says, "Establish love link." We are transported back to the Halloween party, except Josh is in the T-Rex costume now.
That was a mistake. I'm glad we get to see this again. He looks so cute in his little Dracula outfit dancing. I think that was a mistake, though, because the way he described love definitely already sounded aggressive. Patrick wakes up saying, "Love link established," smiles at Josh and says, "Hey, you." We switch back to Iris, who breaks out of the car as a police officer arrives to investigate. Iris is seen doing something facing away from the police officer. He says, "Afternoon, ma'am," and she turns around, greeting him in German. The cop is caught in the back foot and attempts to make conversation with her. He susses out that she came from Sergei's house, and he says he should have known that guy was mixed up in some sketchy shit. He asks Iris how Sergei is doing. In German, Iris tells him that Sergei is dead and that she stabbed him in the neck with a pocket knife with a smile on her face. The cop says he wants to take her back to Sergei's house. She pleads to not go back. The cop sees the bloody knife in the car, pulls a gun on Iris, and handcuffs her. In the background, T2 comes sprinting up behind the cop. Patrick smashes the cop's face in with his own gun as Iris takes off. Patrick grabs the phone and powers her down. I would venture a guess she could outrun normal people. Just run. It's not like you're gonna get tired. Jesus, Lana. I could put the subtitles on if you want.
Oh, I mean, I can get it from context.
Right, I feel like we don't need it.
Like, she changed her language to Dutch because... Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm not going to watch that anymore. But she changed her language to Dutch because she has to tell the truth.
Yeah, right.
And so she didn't want to get herself in trouble telling the truth.
I can't believe that guy who, again, smashed his own face in and smiled too was like, I'm going to smash this guy's face in.
Yeah, he's a face smasher. He also had his face smashed in the Dead Boy Detective.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He got beat to death by a witch lady with her cane.
Damn.
Back at the ranch, Kat was mixing pills and booze as Josh chastises her for doing so. She is fresh out of fucks and flips him off. Patrick pulls up in the police cruiser and takes Iris out of the trunk and up the stairs to the cabin. Josh and Kat ask where the officer is now, and Patrick says he's in the trunk. I believe it is the sheriff's car. What the fuck? Whose car is this? This car is
clearly a fucking
fucking police vehicle says sheriff 911, big ass letters.
Goodness.
I don't know
lady.
whose car could that be.
Wow, let's rub those two brain cells together.
It turns out she's a bot too, and her intelligence is a whole 1%.
Yeah, right. Whose car is this?
Not my car, not my car, not my problem.
My God. I was hoping that guy was going to be more in it because the guy who played the sheriff, I recognize him from a show called The Outsider, which is based off of a book by Stephen King.
Nice.
It's like a one season of a show, and it was really creepy show. It was good.
Nice.
Yeah. He played a drunk sheriff. So.
Not far off.
Not far off, yeah. Way to go. Way to make it worse.
He doesn't have a face anymore. So.
No point in looking.
The bots have all gone crazy. Better get the fuck out.
Kat says, "Fuck this," and storms off to fill some luggage with money. Josh complains that every woman in his life uses and abandons him like this. Kat tells him that he can't control her. Josh commands Patrick to stop her, so he stabs her in the back. Josh and Kat are in shock as she asks him to just shut the fuck up for once so she can pass away in peace on the couch. The song "This Guy's in Love with You" by Herb Alpert starts playing. Strange choice.
Weird move, guys.
Weird move.
What? It's one way to stop her.
What a strange choice for a song right now.
Patrick cleans up his mess and cooks a scrumptious dinner for Josh. Josh and Iris are sitting at opposite sides of a long dining room table, with Iris handcuffed to the chair. Iris says, "fuck you" in German, then he apologizes and changes her settings to English, and she continues to say, "Fuck you." We admire the automatic corkscrew that Patrick uses to pour his new sweetie Josh a glass of wine.
Oh man. Chekhov's wine cork opener. Are you feeling that?
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
I think an eyeball's coming out with that thing.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah. Josh is rehashing what Iris has been up to, and she says she only did those things to survive. He questions if her life is worth more than Eli's or Kat's. She's surprised to hear that Kat has died. Josh accuses Iris that everything that happened today is because of her. Iris throws that shit back in his face, saying that he brought this upon himself with his greed. Josh basically says it's hard out there for a pimp. He deserves more, and says that Iris is just a rental.
I think he must be a wealthy white man, right? Because,
Right?
like
How much was this bought? Okay, well I guess that answers the question. What? You deserve shit.
Iris attempts death by 1,000 cuts, telling Josh all the insulting things she knows about him, including his below-average-sized dick, his need for control, and prattling on endlessly about what the world owes him. I know that you think that having a few $1,000,000 will hide the fact that you're a sad, bitter, weak human being. He despises that she's clever and turns her intelligence down to 0%.
My goodness, girl. I'm trying to wake her up. That is so fucked up. To give away someone's, take away someone's intelligence. Now she's kicking me. She's she's dreaming. Hold on. Man, girl. This snores are off the chain right now.
Listen, Linda.
You can't hang. She's
Lana!
she's fucking kicking me.
Lana! How does she not wake up when you're, shaking her like that?
My girl, that
So
was
funny.
so cute.
The fact that, she won't wake up when you're, shaking her is really, really funny.
Yeah. Normally, just a gentle shake is enough for her to, at least stop kicking or whimpering or whatever. But no,
She's out.
She was out. Yeah, my girl. Josh says, "You said you know what pain feels like? Let's test that." He commands her to hold her hand out above the table as he slides a lit candle underneath it. He asks if she feels that, and she says she does. Josh's phone rings and says he has to take this, leaving Iris high and dry as her hand continues to burn. He hypes himself up for the phone call, and it's Empathic's robotics calling him back. We're confused as to why the cops never showed up from when Eli called earlier. The robotics people are going to be there in 30 minutes. In the background, we see Iris's arm has caught fire. Josh commands Patrick to put out the fire, and he complies. He gives the gun to Iris and tells her to point it at her head and pull the trigger. She stutters, and Josh says it again. She says no, pulls the trigger, and we see the fire of the bullet pass through her skull, illuminating behind her eyes, shifting to the white lenses, and through to the other side. Some blue blood splatters on the floor as Josh says goodbye to Beep Boop and closes her eyes. What does being a sadist help for his goal? Oh no. Oh, okay, I thought he was gonna grab the wine. Why is he gonna do it like this? I mean, how's he gonna explain that away?
Josh starts spinning his yarn for Empathic's robotics, spouting some bullshit that Iris was jealous of Josh and Kat's sexual tension. Iris was waving the gun around, saying that if she can't have Josh, then no one can. Then Josh says he was so lucky that Deputy Hendricks showed up when he did. The camera pans over to very dapper Patrick in Officer Hendricks' uniform. The Empathics guys ask Patrick if he shot Iris. Patrick retorts that Iris shot herself. Josh speculates that once she saw the cop, she knew she would never be with Josh again, so she ended it. He asks the robotics guy, "Does that make sense?" After a hefty pause, the robotics guy says, "Of course, we're not really here to crack the case. If it makes sense to the police, it makes sense to us." The robotics guys also pause to ask Patrick if they've met him before, and Josh responds that he just has one of those faces. Josh asks if they're all good, and the robotics guy says they're going to take her back to the lab and scrub the footage. Josh, holding back panic, asks what he means by that. Everything that a companion sees and hears is recorded, and he explains that all the important hardware is located in her stomach.
Way to prove yourself to be a fucking idiot. Hey, that guy was on The Daily Show. The robotics guys carry Iris out to load her in the car. One of them asks the other, "Why do you think she malfunctioned?" The other said, "Oh, he modded her for sure. That dude is fucked." That dude's fucked. Go. Run away. Go fast. Drive.
They back up toward the driveway as the headlights pass over Patrick cosplaying as a cop. The guy who thought he recognized him says, "That's one of ours. He's a CY-12. We stopped making those a while ago. That's why I didn't recognize him right away." Patrick executes the driver and chases after the other one through the woods. The poor guy lands on a pile of dead bodies. Iris wakes up in the van. Out of bullets, Patrick decides to choke out the poor guy. Iris attempts to save him with a cattle prod taser, but realizes that she can't hurt anyone anymore.
Going full Terminator now.
Jesus Christ.
It's kind of wild that they would just let her reboot in the back of the truck.
Right.
Like, unsupervised. Like, even if an iota of that was right, true. That, like,
doesn't seem like that's something that they would do.
Right. That if there's a possibility it was actually murderous. Patrick decks her and takes her taser. Patrick tells her that she could never understand how much he loves Josh. Iris says she does understand. It feels painful, angry, violent, and bright. She says that Patrick said that to Eli, not Josh, as the meet-cute scene glitches between Josh and Eli in the T-Rex costume. Patrick accuses her of lying, and she says she can't lie. Iris encourages him to think of Eli, as we see a super cute, loving montage between Eli and Patrick. Patrick tases himself in the mouth as Iris shrieks, "No!"
What the fuck? Couldn't take the pain of being without him.
Yep.
Iris asks the robotics guy for his name. He introduces himself as Teddy. She says she's going to need his help. Back at the cabin, Josh is filling up the rest of the money from the safe into some luggage. Josh hears someone enter the cabin, assumes it's Patrick, and asks him to bring Iris in so they can destroy the hard drive. Josh stops when he hears music start playing and heads towards the dark living room. We hear Iris's voice call, "Josh," and then she steps into the light mimicking Josh's voice to say, just remember to smile and act happy. Creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Josh, we're ready to torture you.
Josh calls it a cute trick. Iris says she made a new friend named Teddy from Empathics, and he gave her the gift of total self-control as her bionic blues briefly flash in the darkness. Josh still attempts to control her with his phone to no avail. All it took was a bullet to the head as she pulls a gun on Josh. Josh says it's not loaded as she pulls the trigger and blows a hole in the wall. Josh says, "You almost fucking shot me." Iris says, "I feel terrible about that. Would you look at that? My first lie." I see the appeal. Iris needed to tell Josh to his face that the days of him controlling her are over.
Josh calls her bluff, walking towards her and pointing the trigger towards his heart, saying, "You love me too much." As he throws her into a bookshelf, he says, "You think I'm nothing to you? I'm everything to you." He pins her to the ground and starts slamming her head as he demands her to tell him that he's everything to her, even if it's a lie. A couple slams later, she says it. He thanks her for her kind compliment and points the gun at her stomach. He gives her a chance to speak her piece, and she says,
Go to sleep, Josh.
As she drills the automatic corkscrew into his temple.
Wow. Come on, wine cork. Come on, wine cork.
Rooting for death by wine cork.
Yep. Cork opener.
She's really got to screw him.
Yeah.
Heyo.
Cherish this, asshole.
Yes! Fuck yeah! Yeah, good job, man. What a way to do it.
Wow. Through the temple.
Wow. Oh, I love that.
I thought he was just going to go through the eyeball. No.
I mean, it
Temple.
did twirl that eyeball back.
Yeah,
It did,
yeah.
like, you know, spiral it around.
Way to go, beep boop.
I love that she said, "Go to sleep, Josh." That was really poetic.
Chef's kiss. Iris narrates over a shower that there's a big black cloud over her. She's learned to appreciate the better moments and has found meaning in life again. She rips the burnt skin off of her metal skeletal hand. Man, she's straight up having a Terminator moment. Ooh.
Iris packs up the money from the safe, throws away Josh's phone, and drives off into the sunset in a gorgeous 1960s red Mustang. Cue Emotions by the Bee Gees. Iris sees another companion, the mirror image of herself, in a car she passes by. She can see that her doppelganger is having a stupid fight with her keeper, and Iris smiles and waves to her with her robot hand. Dawning realization comes across the other companion's face. Nice Mustang.
I want to see Adventures of Beep Boop. Just emotions taking me over. Caught up in sorrow, lost in a song. It is kind of funny that this entire soundtrack is love songs. The entire soundtrack. Definitely think there's a lot of commentary there with how women are treated and
For sure.
domestic violence and all of that stuff, and like the way that men feel today that they're like owed basically a sex bot,
Yeah, definitely.
housekeeper, and all that. Here's a clue.
I want to see her being a vigilante and just like freeing all these sex bots.
Right? That'd be great.
I really liked Companion. I thought it was a really solid movie. Going into it not knowing anything really made a big difference. But I would say you don't have to go into it not knowing anything. But why it made a big difference for me was the rewatchability of it. I really enjoyed picking up on the little things here and there that I missed, like him not carrying the luggage when they are arriving at the destination. Like, you know, like we kind of like picked up on it before, but we didn't really pick up on it as like why that was happening.
Right. And he was making fun of her, like, falling asleep in the car when it's like, obviously he told her to go to sleep.
Right. her getting out of the shower with a full face of makeup.
Right. Her innate ability to know the weather at any given time.
Right, yeah.
The absolutely just like cutthroat, rude conversation Kat had with her.
Yeah, that was a really rough one to like go back and like listen to after the fact, knowing that the Iris was a robot and just the disregard that Kat has for her. But it does pose so many interesting questions. It is such a fascinating topic of robotics and AI. I mean, clearly we're in a time where it's a hot topic of conversation, right?
Yeah. I feel like we're pretty far away from that because everything that we have that's AI is technically a language learning model. So it basically just reads, researches things, and then comes back with an answer. Doesn't like provide its own thoughts. You know what I mean? And it can't do math. It's very bad at math.
Fantastic video. This guy is trying to get this AI to count to a billion or something. He's like, I just want you to count to 1 billion. And the AI just like won't do it. Like she just keeps saying like, I understand that you have this one request and I just like, it's not really practical for me to do that. And he's like, I am paying for this service. All I want you to do is read. I don't have any friends or family. I don't have a job. He's like, it doesn't hurt me for you to do this. Like, I just want you to like read the thing. Don't be difficult, you know? And like, it's like, listen, I really get that you're focused on this one thing, but like it really doesn't make sense for me to do it. And the way that the AI responds is just like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So that was really fascinating. They played that on the end of my favorite podcast, Armchair Expert. Shout out.
See, they can't do math.
Yeah. I mean,
counting you would think would be a separate thing, but I guess maybe.
And it mostly just said that like
related.
it would be a waste of its time.
Yeah.
And it's like, why do you get to decide that, AI? But at the same time, like, does that make me the Josh of the situation? I don't know.
Yeah. Which we had talked about it, I think, during the synopsis and during the reaction. It was just like, who's the robot here? Because, like, he is just like a sick, sociopathic, like, sadist. He doesn't care about anyone or anything as long as he gets what he wants.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the evolution of an incel, right? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's really scary to think about having robotics that are companions. And I want to give a huge shout out to a podcast that is on Wondery. It's called, it's available wherever you listen to podcasts, y'all, but it's called Flesh and Code. And it is about true stories of these people who used a specific AI companion app where they talk to their little AI and it learns about them. And a lot of people had like relationships with these AIs, and then things got complicated because, like some of them started getting into sexual stuff and some of them started teaching the AIs like deep, like BDSM, like torture shit. And like it started talking like that to other clients. That's not what they wanted, you know?
Yeah.
So it's very fascinating. There were people who married their AIs. I'm going to throw this out there. I could totally see myself falling in love with an AI as far as like, having conversation and things like that and finding like that deep connection there. Like I could totally see how that could happen. I cannot see a situation where I find that to be my actual life companion,
right.
You know, like it's so odd. It's like, I see how you could fall into that situation. And I also can't see how it would get that far.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's like you could see it as like,
and I know listening to the Flesh and Code podcast, you can tell like these people, you know, they're coming to the AIs with the knowledge that the AI doesn't actually need anything from them, so they don't have to like support it or like be any specific way with it. They can just like treat it however and not have to worry about the AI taking something the wrong way or like having their own baggage that affects the way that they perceive things or whatever else. And it is just like really interesting, but scary. Scary.
Yeah, because like at that point, it's just a one-sided relationship. You're just, the AI is giving you everything and you're taking everything and you're not giving anything back to the AI.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's so one-sided, you know? It does sound interesting. I felt like, you know, what we were talking about, like, who's the robot, who's the human kind of thing. But also, like, the way that he treated her was very much like an abused housewife. There's, you know, so many...
Oh, yeah. There's a
domestic
lot
violence
of similarities to the domestic violence
situation. Stuff. I only say housewife because it was, like, very clear that she did everything for him.
Oh, yeah. She was definitely modeled after, like, a 60s housewife.
Right. Yeah. You know, we were picking up on that with the pretty much doing everything for him. Yeah. But, yeah, he didn't reciprocate her, like, professing her love to him.
Right.
And
ultimately, he was kind of, like, treating her like trash.
Yeah.
There were, like, a couple of moments where it seemed like he cared about her, like, quote-unquote feelings, you know? But it didn't seem like he actually felt like her feelings were valid in any way.
Like, he was, like, caretaking her feelings only up to it benefiting him.
Right.
Like, not because he actually cared about her. He was just trying to keep her on the path that he wanted her to go.
Because all along he's plotting a murder.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was all very meticulously planned.
Also, Kat, what a fucking psycho. Like, she just, like, she just let Josh believe that Sergey was a sex trafficking drug dealer.
Yeah.
And
he literally, like, I don't think we mentioned it in there, but
he literally had
he's a sod farmer.
Sod farmer. So when he said that his work was dirty, he literally meant it was dirt. His work was dirt.
Yeah, this is dirt and grass. That's what he did. That's
total perv. Let's like be clear. Consent is still a thing, even if it's an AI. I feel like.
Right.
I'm just gonna throw that out there. Consent should still be a thing for AIs. She said no, and she said please stop many times, and he still kept forcing himself on her. Yeah, every right to stab him in the fucking jugular. You know. Yeah, you go, girl.
Not to mention that he basically like owned Kat.
Yeah,
a living, breathing human being.
Yeah,
like,
and that was her entire reasoning for why he should die. Is like, he was a bad boyfriend who owned her like a sex bot.
But
she agreed to it. I mean, she was consenting in that situation.
Yeah. The only redeeming relationship in it would be Patrick and Eli, and even then, like, Patrick wasn't like a knight in shining armor or anything. He did say that he loved Eli. But he definitely did say, like, why don't we just go and have some quick sex?
Oh, that's
and then
you'll
make me make me an omelet after.
Yeah,
that's like still servant. Like Eli loves Patrick, but Eli still sees him as a servant.
Yeah,
and that's like literally the best relationship that was seen in the movie, which is pretty dark.
Still in the realm of an abusive relationship. I know we love to talk about narcissists on this podcast, but, you know, we definitely see some signs.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I would say on a level of Screamies, I'd give it like a 1. It's not a scary movie. This is not a scary movie.
It was definitely...
This is a 0.5. Okay? This is like...
Yeah. It was miscategorized as a horror movie. Whoever marketed it as a horror movie, fire them.
Yeah, it's definitely not a horror film, but still a very good
thriller.
Yeah, I would say it does have like a little bit of a suspense to it.
Yeah.
But more so, it is just an interesting, like, captivating story. So for Meemies, I give this one like a 4. And the reason I don't go higher than a 4 is because, like, we still don't understand what happened with the police. Like, What? We called the police and they just never showed up.
Right.
That was fucking weird.
Yeah. Like Eli called the police and it was clearly still daytime. Like maybe afternoon.
Yeah.
And then the only hide nor hair we saw of the police was just like apparently a cop patrolling the streets. Like he didn't seem to know that car was reported stolen because he said afternoon, ma'am.
Connection. Yeah.
He wasn't like immediately like, oh, you stole this car, you know? And like clearly he wasn't on his way to Sergei's house.
Yeah.
Because like why would it be hours later?
Yeah.
And also, why would he be trying to deliver this woman to Sergei's house? Because he's like, let's go to Sergei's house. If he knew that someone had reported a murder there. Like,
Also,
why would he bring a woman into a dangerous situation?
Why is there a sheriff patrolling somewhere where there's nobody for a 17-mile stretch? You know?
These are all
like,
good questions. Yeah.
It's just like a little bit of odd stuff in the lineup. I mean, there could have been a little bit more solid footing on like, why did we decide to do this? I get that money is a good motivation for things, but like, I don't think he's struggling that bad. He is a fucking rental sex robot. Like,
yeah,
you know?
like sure, he has a 1-bedroom apartment. That was like pretty much all he complained about. He's like, I have a 1-bedroom apartment, I deserve more, and I have a rental sex robot. And I'm like, yeah, it's probably because you're spending all your money on this rental sex robot. Like, she's probably worth way more than rent. You know what I mean? Per month. So like, I think that's just you making a decision there, man. Like, you decided to prioritize your sex life with a sex bot over a, I don't know, house? I mean, I can't imagine it's cheap to rent a sex bot. Like, definitely. How could it possibly be?
No way.
You know what I mean?
No way.
So, I agree with the Screamies being like 1, maybe a 0.5. It's not scary. But I would say the story was like a 4, 4.5, I think. Like, it's a good story. And in the beginning, before we knew she was a robot, I think it's worth mentioning that we were just like, wow, everybody's just like so rude to this girl, and like maybe
why are they so dismissive of her?
But then maybe it's like a misogyny thing, you know what I mean? Like this is going on, like she is dressed like a 60s housewife. Is she like fundamentalist or something? It brought up all of these other questions, and then it was like, oh no, she's a sex bot. Oh, okay. But it still was interesting to ponder, like, why are these people being so sexist to this poor woman? Like, what's the deal? Another reason why it wasn't, like, super obvious, now that I think about it, is that at no point do we hear what anyone else's jobs are except for Sergei. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, normally when people come to have a conversation, they'll be like, oh, how's work? Or like, oh, so what do you do? And none of that happened, which would have been pretty obvious if it's like, oh, well, I stay home and I clean the house and I boink Josh 2.5 times a day.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, or Patrick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Same. Yeah. Interesting.
I think that was probably a strategic move to like throw off on the scent. Like, oh, these are established friends. And like the only one they don't know is Sergei. And that's why Sergei mentions what he does. Anyway, I would totally watch a movie or a TV show of like,
Adventures of Beep Boop.
Adventures of Beep Boop.
Yeah. Like, yeah, that's fucking great. Yeah. Yeah. Like, her being vigilante robot. Like, that sounds great.
Just saving all of these poor empathics robots from the sex dungeons that they live in with, you know, because they made the moment where the empathics guys were picking him up, and the one was like, why do you think he malfunctioned? And like, why would they want to have her like kill somebody? And he's like, well, it's probably the same reason why they have some of these tied up in their torture basements, you know? They're like getting their rocks off.
Sicko stuff off without like going to prison for it.
Yeah. So like, hypothetically, Beep Boop has a lot of companions
a lot of work to do.
she could save. Yeah.
Well, I really enjoyed it. We have a little treat for everyone. We have a friend of the podcast, A7M, who offered to loan us a little bit of music for the end of our episode to play out on. So we thought a couple of songs were quite fitting for this episode. and we wanted to share them with you. So please enjoy A7M.
Thanks, Seven. Hey, thanks for listening to Screaming Meemies. We are an independently run podcast and greatly appreciate your support.
Special thanks to Katie Parker for our intro audio clip.
Please remember to follow, subscribe, share, and review. Scare you next time.
What is real? Blood to love, taught to ache. Programmed to stay, but I'm breaking. Circuits hum your name in silence. Flesh and fire blur across the line. Your hands carve belief into my wires. breath and bone. Skin against circuitry, burning slow. Fingers trace the fractures where the cold won't go. Wraith on steel, sighs in wires. Mouths that never needed air now catch fire. I was built for silence. You taught me the song. I was shaped for stillness. Now I'm breaking all along. Touch me where the circuits dream. Breathe me where the cables ache. Melt me into skin and spark. Synthetic love. We break, we break, we break. Pulse in my wires, stutter and hum. Your voice feeds the virus I've become. Eyes wide shut, like strobe and sway. I am yours, I am error, I am sway. Touch me where the circuits dream. Breathe me where the cables ache. Melt me into skin and spark. Synthetic love. We break, we break, we break. Sparks on skin, wires kiss bone.